Hey there, welcome to the Pre-algebra 7.6 video where we're talking about percent applications. Alright, so I thought I'd use a Mini Cooper as kind of our example to guide us through some of these definitions that we need to know. One being wholesale price. Okay, so what is a wholesale price? Well, it's the price that a store pays a manufacturer for the goods. So, for example, if at a BMW of Austin, okay, well, BMW sells Mini Cooper. I think they own Mini Cooper. So when they put cars in their lot, they obviously have to buy the cars from the manufacturer. And so the wholesale price is the price that car dealership would pay to the Mini Cooper manufacturing plant for the Mini Cooper. So the wholesale price, again, is what the car dealership's going to pay. It's what, Shoe Carnival is going to pay Nike and Adidas and Reebok and all that stuff. So what's the markup? Well, markup is an increase from the wholesale price to the retail price. So if the let's say the dealership pays $13,000 for a Mini Cooper, and you pay. And again, you're going to be paying the retail price, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let's say you pay $20,000 for the Mini Cooper. The markup would be that difference there of $7,000. Okay, so markup, when we talk about markup, it's actually a dollar amount. Now, retailer is a place that sells goods to individual consumers. So a retailer would be a car dealership. They're the ones selling it to the end user, the person who's going to actually drive the car. And the retail price, again, retail price is the price that a consumer is going to pay. So if you go out and buy a Mini Cooper, you're going to pay the sticker price that's on the windshield, okay? Again, known as the retail price. All right, so how do you find the retail price? Well, it's pretty simple. Retail price is found by taking the wholesale price and adding the markup, right? So we kind of already did that. But if, let's say, car dealership, the Mini Cooper dealership buys a John Cooper Works edition Mini Cooper for $27,000, and they mark it up at let's say they mark it up by $10,000. You're going to end up paying, well, whatever that is, $37,000. Okay, so that's how you find retail price. All right, so why don't you try this one? Barnes & Nobles sets their prices by marking up the wholesale price by 100%. Okay, so what is the retail price of a book that costs Barnes & Noble $6.50? So why don't you pause the video and give that a shot and play it when you're done. All right, so we know that the retail price can be found by taking the wholesale price. So that's what Barnes & Noble is going to pay the book printer, I guess, and then you're going to add to that the markup. Now again, the markup's a dollar amount, but did they give us a dollar amount markup in here? No, they didn't. So we're going to have to change some things around. So let's see if you got this. Again, what is the retail price? So we're looking for the retail price, so I'll use R. And we got okay, so first take the wholesale. Okay, so it cost Barnes & Noble $6.50. So that means the wholesale price is $6.50. And they add to that the markup. Remember, the markup is going to be a dollar amount, but they didn't give us a markup dollar amount. But what they did say is that they increase, they mark up their books by 100% of the wholesale price. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to take the wholesale price of $6.50 and multiply that by 100% as a decimal, which would be 1.00 basically, or just 1. Okay. Again, that's 100% as a decimal. So, obviously 650 times 1 is just 650. So that becomes 650. And 650 plus 650 is equal to $13 right there. Okay. So, if they have a book that costs them $6.50, they're going to sell it to you for $13. Alright, so why don't you pause the video and try this one as well, and then we'll play when you're done. Alright, so the retail price for a Hershey's bar at H-E-B is $1. H-E-B marks up their candy by 70% of the wholesale. What is that wholesale price? So now we're looking for the wholesale price. So you might be asking, well, you didn't give us an equation for wholesale. Well, I didn't necessarily, but I have given you an equation that contains retail price, it contains wholesale, so we can actually use that again. We say the retail price is equal to the wholesale plus the markup. So the retail price in this case, they give it to us and they say it's $1. And that equals the wholesale price. Well, HEB marks the bikini with 70% of the wholesale price. What is the wholesale price? I actually don't know what the wholesale price is, so I'm going to use W there. And then the markup. Well, did they tell us the markup? Well, remember, markup is a dollar amount. So do they tell us how much they mark it up by? No, they don't. But let's think about this. How do we get to a markup price? Well, it tells us that at HEB they mark it up by 70%. Now, what do they mark up by 70%? Well, the wholesale price. So I know that if I had the wholesale price, I could take that times 70%, which as a decimal is 0.7, and that would give me the amount of markup. So W times 0.7, I'm going to rewrite that, and I'm just going to kind of rewrite everything while I'm at it. Okay, W times 0.7, what can I rewrite that as? How about just 0.7W? Okay, and now that again, keep in mind, here for wholesale I use W, and then also when we're calculating the markup, I know I have to take 0.7 times the wholesale, so I use W again. Now that I have a W here and a 0.7W here, I can combine like terms. And we know that W really just means 1W, so if I had 1W plus 0.7W, I now have 1.7W, and the last step, of course, is just to divide everything by 1.7 to get W by itself, and 1 divided by 1.7 ends up getting you approximately, we'll round it to 59 cents. So if they get a Hershey's bar, HEB is going to pay 59 cents for that Hershey's bar. They're going to mark it up by 70%, and they're going to charge you $1. Alright, so let's talk about discount and sales price. What's the discount? Well, the discount is a dollar amount decrease from the original price. So, how do you find a discount? Well, you take the retail price and you multiply it by the discount percent, right? So if a pair of jeans were originally, on sale for $40, but then they say, hey, they're on sale, so the original price was $40 and they're on sale for 25% off. And what we want to know is okay, well, what's the discount? Actually, like, how much are we taking off that original price? Well, I'm just going to take the retail original price, which was $40, and multiply that by the discount percent of 0.25, which is just 25% as a decimal. What is a quarter of 40? That is, of course, $10, right? So that's not the new price, but that is the discount amount. So the sales price is the price that an individual pays after the discount's applied. So let's use the same situation here. What's the sales price? Well, in this case, we're going to take the original retail price, which of those jeans, which was $40, minus the discount, which we just calculated as 10. 40 minus 10, of course, is going to get you $30. That's the sales price of those jeans. Alright, so why don't you pause the video and try this, and let's see how you do. Alright, so you purchase a pair of shoes that originally cost $45, but it's on sale for 25% off. What is the new price? Okay, so the new price, which one of these equations are we going to use? Well, it's on sale, so we're going to use the sales price equation. So, sales price, or the new price, is going to be equal to the original minus the discount. Okay, so sales price, I don't know it. Going to use S. The original was 55 minus the discount. Well, they give us a discount percent, but they don't give us the discount amount. So we need to go back and reference this equation to figure out, okay, how do we find the actual discount amount? Well, I'm going to take the original price times the discount percent. So kind of up here, I'm going to do this discount thing, and that is going to be original price of 55 multiplied by 0.25. Okay, so 55 times 0.25, that ends up getting you $13.75. So if you take 55 minus 13.75, you're going to find your sales price, which is going to be $41.25. There you go. All right, so here's another one dealing with discount and sales. Why don't you try this one as well, and let's see how you do. All right, so you bought a pair of headphones for $76.50. They were discounted by 10%. What was the original price? So do we have an equation that has like, well, original price equals blah, 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 blah? No, we don't. But we have equations that include original price that we can use to help us find the original price, even though the thing on the left is not original price equals, and then you do all the stuff and you automatically get it. So let's think about what equation we need to use. Well, we were given $76.50. They were discounted by 10%. So we have a sales price. We have a discount amount. All right, so which one of these do you think we should probably use? Oh, I don't know. Probably might need to use both. But let's start with sales price is equal to the original minus the discount. Let's just see what happens there. Okay, so sales price equals original minus the discount. Okay, the sales price. Do we know the sales price? Yes, we do. $76.50 equals the original price minus the discount. Well, do I know what the original price was? I don't. So I'm going to use X. Minus the discount. Do I know what the discount is? Well, I don't know the discount dollar amount, but I do know the percent. So how would you find a discount dollar amount? Well, of course, we take the original, or the retail price, times the discount, D-I-S-C for discount, the discount percent. So over here, we didn't know the original, so we use X. So here I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, the original price, we're going to denote that with X, and we're going to multiply that by the discount percent, which in this case is 10%. So I'm just use the decimal 0.1. Now, let's simplify things up a little bit. What is X times 0.1? How else could I write that? Well, just how about 0.1X? Also keep in mind that X means 1X, all right? And now I can combine some like terms. So what's 1X minus 0.1X? Well, that is, of course, going to get you 0.9X. And then we're going to divide by 0.9 to get X by itself. Divide by 0.9, divide by 0.9. And when you take $76.50, divide it by 0.9, you end up getting $85 equals X. And there you go. So what does that mean? Well, it means that these headphones were originally $85. They were discounted by 10%, and they got you to $76.50. So we can actually check our work here and say, well, okay, if they were $85 originally, I should be able to subtract the discount, which would be $85 times 10% off. Okay, so 85 times 0.1, that's $8.50. So that's like saying 85 minus 8.5. Okay, and if you take 85 minus 8.5, what do you end up getting? You end up getting $76.50, which is what it told us that you paid anyway. So we just checked our work and we did it right. So I hope you got that answer. If not, that's okay. But keep in mind that's going to be just a recurring thing throughout this chapter, and you need to be good with that. So we can talk more about that in class. All right, so a couple more important things. Tip, okay? I'm sure you're all familiar with tip. Again, the tip amount is the subtotal, and that should be times the tip percent, okay? Generally, anywhere from 15 to 25%. So let's say your family went to dinner one night at Chewy's, and the subtotal was $65.30. So what is subtotal? Subtotal at Chewy's would mean your food costs. So food and drinks, right? No tax on there yet, no tip on there yet. Now, the subtotal was $65.30. You plan to leave a 20% tip. How much will you leave as a tip? All right, so let's think about this. It's 20%. Now, finding 20% of something is actually pretty easy because if you can find 10%, just take that 10% times 2. So how would you find 10% of $65.30? Well, you'd move the decimal one place to the left. Okay, and so that would be 6.53. That'd be 10%. And to find 20%, all you would do is multiply that 6.53 times 2. So that's going to be like $13 plus 3 cents and then 3 cents again. So in your head, you could do that and get $13.06. Okay, now if you don't like doing it the quick and short way and you want to be absolutely certain of your answer, that's awesome. You can just do 65.30 times the tip percent that you want to tip, 20%. So 65 30 times 0.2 is going to get you the same thing of 13.06. So $13.06. That's how much you would leave as a tip if you wanted to leave 20%. Let's talk about sales tax. So let's say you also have to pay sales tax on the food from Chuy's. In Texas, the tax on a meal from a restaurant is 6.25%. How much tax will you pay? All right, so tax is based on the subtotal. Okay, so let's go back here. Our subtotal is what? 65.30. Okay. So tax is equal to the subtotal plus what you're going to do is take that, getting things mixed up. Your tax is calculated by taking the subtotal times the tax rate, which is going to be a percent. Okay, so let's find that. I'll just use T for tax. Subtotal 65.30 times, in Texas, 6.25%. Now, as a decimal, keep in mind that's 0.0625. So if you take 65.30 and you multiply it by 0.0625, what you end up getting is this. 4.08125, and of course we're talking about money, so we need to round to the nearest penny. So you get 4.08 as your tax right there, okay? All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Thanks for sticking with it. Look forward to talking more about tax and tip and percent and original price and wholesale and all that good stuff with you in class. See ya.